Oh,
Record.
now.
Hey.
So, perfect. Okay, back after holidays, after long time not seeing you. What, for 1 month or whatever? Maybe even longer.
Yeah, it was actually more than a month.
Today, by the way, that's Muni, Michael Danz. So I make an intro. I'll make an intro for you.
Sure.
So Michael Danz here talking to me from Berlin, a long-term friend of Markus Schmiecke, the founder, as you all know, and inventor of Timewaver and Healy and Markus Danz, Markus Danz, exactly. Michael Danz, alias Muni, is working with Timewaver 11 years?
Yeah, around 11 years by now, yeah.
Almost 11 years by now as the sales director of Timewaver. And sensitive genius, knows everything about the technology.
Yeah, well, more or less, as far as I can see. But yeah, I was there from the humble beginnings when we were 6 people. And yeah, see, now we are, with 80 people, something like this. Working
80 people. Where did you start working? Like, was it also already in the castle to this time, or?
Yeah, actually, the very beginnings was even further in Germany, was close to Dresden, and then was just 2 kilometers from the Czech border. And there we had a little castle, Burg Schöna was the name. And Schöna is the very city just close to the Czech border, in the very nice Elbsandsteingebirge, which is a beautiful mountain range with the river Elbe flowing through. It's a very beautiful landscape. That was the period where we started with Timewaver, at least theoretically. And then we moved at some point to Berlin because people couldn't reach us. That was in the middle of nowhere and people could not reach us. And then we were for, let's say, 1 year in Berlin, maybe a bit longer, Fasanstraße. And then we realized Berlin is a tough place. Too many people, noise, big city stuff. So we realized we have to go somewhere else. So we moved to Grenzlin, which is 1 hour away northeast of Berlin. So it is on the countryside, rural place. And there we are since 11 years by now. And I actually came when we started here in Grenzlin to Timewaver working with Markus. But I know him since about 20 years by now.
You knew him from
we have been friends before Timewaver.
Yeah, maybe for everybody who doesn't know that, they have an amazing, beautiful, I don't know how many, 400 years old, 300 years old castle.
Yeah.
Historic castle on the outskirts of Berlin. And these guys sitting there planning, creating masterminds, thinking about technology, what to do next, programming, developing the technology since a long, long time. And having really this amazing place where really you can, I believe it's so amazing to focus there. And it was actually also the place where we met the first time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that was a nice place. It is not a castle as you maybe know it from fairy tales, but it is a big, you would say it's a mansion. It's a big mansion. It's a small castle, but a beautiful area. It has been created by, I guess it was the architect, the last royal architect. It was a friend of Schinkel, like the guy. Schinkel is a German architect who was one of the main architects from the last German emperor. So they had European as their, hunting and pleasure. If they wanted to escape Berlin for a weekend, they would
party castle
there. Like they had a good time, pleasure, leisure, all of this. And so this castle was a bit like summer residence. And
hey,
served.
You know what I realized?
Yeah.
Your microphone is not working.
Me?
Seriously.
You mean
last time your microphone, your sound was so amazing. This time it's like my sound, I think.
Really?
And my sound is shit. And I'm sorry, I had this microphone here, but when I plug it in, I can't hear Muni anymore, and I can't figure out. Oh.
Okay, now. Oh yeah, now we go. Very good.
Yeah.
I actually had the other one there. I had this one in, which is my, the camera one. Sorry. Okay, let's do again.
Let's start over. No, now I'm the only one who my quality is the only one, which is not so good.
Okay.
But
then let's start. We just start. Yeah, it's good. We had anyway the introduction, so now we are basically back on the track.
But honestly, I think it's super interesting. Like the whole thing. If you haven't been there and you haven't seen it, this is really like, this is not the place where you imagine where an amazing technology is being created, like the Silicon Valley kind of stuff. A big office or whatever. it's just a historical castle where I believe like creativity and when you start meditating together and intuitive workshops and whatever you guys have done over the past, and this is really like a place where you can create magical things, at least come to your mind, right? And I think this is how you use the castle for as well, huh?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it is very much different from normal office places, definitely. And I personally have to say, I don't like really office places where, you're just boxed one after the other, and then people are just stuffed in and just. The castle is really a creative place. First of all, you have the history of the place. You just be in those rooms, and you feel like somehow it just changes the way you feel, the way you think, and the creativity can just flow much easier. It is a very beautiful area. I really like it. So everyone who. Yeah, I better don't, say people are invited. Otherwise, the castle will be crowded.
Incentive trips.
Maybe you could just Google it up. See a picture. That's okay.
Translin. Yeah, I make it in the description. I write it down. So what do we want to talk about today? We wanted to talk about the Healy Advisor Analysis app. Well, of course, Healy. But especially about the Healy Advisor Analyze app. Last time we already talked a little bit about the Aura app. Which we then showcase the time waiver Aura app. And honestly, we need more videos on that because it's so much. This time, I think we should talk a little bit about how to use the Healy Advisor Analyze app. Why is it working? Maybe even some issues regarding master key. I have some, I wrote down stuff here in my Healy book.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's your Healy book.
It looks like this when I write down things.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. So maybe we just go through, that's actually a good way. Maybe we go through the questions first, and then maybe we can have a little show demo, and I try to connect my smartphone to the internet, and so you see it live. Let's see about that one, okay?
Exactly. So maybe, hey, I know you described it before probably 1,000 times. But maybe say it again in a few words. How does it work? Like, how does the quantum sensor work? How does the Healy Analysis app works and shows you, for example, if we go on what we do later, go into the programs, how does it figure out what program you are most resonant right now with?
Yeah, that's a good point. In this little Healy, there is what you said already, a quantum sensor in. Is right underneath that play button, the on and off button. And this quantum sensor technically is called a noise generator, which has the ability to basically go in resonance with the person who's carrying Healy. On the one side, so it has two ways to go in resonance with. You could also say it's maybe like a resonator. It resonates with the person carrying it, and it resonates with databases which are part of the app and which are part of the system itself. So if you install the Healy Advisor Analyze app, of course you have to do all the registration and stuff, but then you have certain databases, Bachflower, Schüssler salts, and all of those. And these databases are, you would say, digital vibration patterns with which the Healy can as well go in resonance. So it goes in resonance with this, and it goes in resonance with me. And, whatever is highest matching in terms of, let's say, Bach flowers, I go through the 39 Bach flowers, it will show up on the screen, and it will tell me, okay, this is what I need in my current situation right now the most.
How?
Good. Yeah, there is a good point. Technically how or energetically how?
Maybe technically first.
Yeah. Technically how is good. See that how is in there is a little noise generator which is working on the level of electrons.
Wait, how to imagine this noise generator?
Yeah, a noise generator basically is generating a noise. A noise is not a noise as you like hear a noisy car, but a noise in terms of electron noise. So there is a noise which comes on the level of electron, which is, creating a, which is creating a so-called noise. We call it an electron noise, and this is a noise of 0 and 1s, yes and no's. And according to what is my need right now, and according to what is in the databases, that noise can change and can produce this result or this result. And how does it change? It is changing according to what I want to do, basically according to my intention. So if I'm choosing a certain Healy program for me, if I'm choosing for my situation a Bach flower right now, which is supposed to support my system, then I have the intention to find the right remedy at the present moment. And this intention decides how this electron noise is going to restructure and change, so it brings up this result or that result.
That's why it's so important to stay focused while you do the fingerprint, right? Have
Always,
the intent set, and maybe not be distracted from anything else.
Exactly, because especially with the Healy Advisor Resonance app, there's no cable connection. So we are, this thing is not plugged in. We are not having any connection. Basically, you can leave this next to you or in the next room, and without a cable or physical connection, you come to results. How? Because a connection is needed, but the connection is being done consciousness-wise.
Okay, but
so that is the interface is being done on the level of consciousness via the right intention, via the right focus we apply.
If I will have now, for example, an intention to look more young, you know, and I think about this all the time, and I want, and the Healy has the anti-aging programs. Yeah, we all do. And the Healy has the anti-aging programs and whatsoever, right? But then, does it necessarily mean like these programs will come up more likely because I have the intention of this is something I'm thinking about constantly, this is what I want to do? Or does it resonate actually with my, like, because oftentimes it comes something with meridians, with the mental balance, with things you're not even thinking about, right? So intention means you have to think about it, or intention means maybe unconsciously being.
Good point. Very good point. Intention means you actively think about it. That is not changing. You think about not wanting to get old. That's fine. Or the better intention is I stay young, you know, like to have it positively formulated in present tense. However, how Healy is responding is acausal. Usually we are used that, you know, we have a cause and an effect. You know, I have a cause and then I have a corresponding effect to that cause. However, Healy is able to respond to us in an acausal way. That means just because I have the focus of I don't want to get old, that does not necessarily mean Healy has to come up with all the aging programs, but it can also come up with meridian programs or with chakra programs or with whatever gold cycle, which are supporting that focus. So maybe a meridian is the weakest spot at the present moment, which needs to, you know, balance beforehand before I can look deeper into the whatever anti-aging programs. So because it's acausal, that means we cannot, it's not a linear thing. Just because I'm thinking this again, that has to come out again. Because then you could say, whenever I think about anti-aging, always the same program has to come up.
Right.
And that is also not there, because at the present moment, anti-aging might be strong, but whatever is the real cause, Healy can decide separately from what we consciously would believe would be the effect of what I think.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of complete new science, like for us.
It is a complete new science. You're true. Yeah.
No.
Because actually you're right, because usually we are used to this cause effect thing. Yes. You know, we do something in the world and we have a corresponding effect, and this is how we are trained, how we are raised, how we are, you know, however we deal in this world normally. If we work with quantum physics, and especially with the information field device like Healy, we have to take that thinking a bit out, and we have to think out of the box to, you know, accept that Healy is proposing to us a program which right now is the best for us, whether we expect it to be in the category which we used to think is right, or whether Healy just finds itself from the best possible courses the right one, and is bringing that one up. So we have to take this thinking a bit.
Open your mind, basically. Open your mind.
Yeah, you have to open the mind.
what for me now the last 10, 11 months working with Healy or playing with it, it's just like what you know, I maybe never get there where you are in terms of understanding, but there is no way I don't know now it's not working anymore. It's working 100% because what I have seen now in the last few months is so accurate. It's almost impossible. Like I like to tell that story. Like a month ago, I had a Thai guy with me, and he's 77 years old, and I gave him the Healy and do the analyze check, and he just takes the Healy in his right hand, doesn't know whatever happens to him now. And then the first thing that came up was bioenergetic 1, and then I go into the category bioenergetic 1, and the first thing that came up with 85% prostate, and he was almost throwing it on the floor because he said like, how the hell can this little device come up with prostate? I'm just taking it in my hand. I had a surgery on my prostate 8 months ago and have struggled with my prostate, right? And this kind of stuff is now happening all the time. Another example, I had a couple from Bali, Serbian friends of mine. They live in Bali. They live the dream life over there. And I met them here in Thailand and gave them the device. I checked him up, and he's like this amazing, wonderful character, always smiling, always have this great energy. When he comes into the room, he lights up the room. It's amazing. Like really, really beautiful people. And then the first thing that comes up, beauty, inner beauty. The second, mental balance, inner strength, emotional well-being, contentment, like very high, you know, then even being and the gold system. And I just wonder like how, like he is such a happy person. Like what is Healy trying to show me here? Now I trust Healy so much. And then his girlfriend looks at him and it's like, this makes so much sense because what happened to him a year ago, his mom passed away and he was like, okay with it. And then a month ago, he went to a spiritual healer who was really going very deep into him and put him into some kind of trance hypnosis and confronted him basically with all his suppressed emotions, right? And since this time, he's like just getting so sad all the time, right? And really recap on all the things what have happened. And so Healy picked on this one, right? Healy immediately picked on this one, suggested all these mental balance programs to put him back into emotional balance, right? And it's just another example. There's so many examples, which is it's incredible. It is.
Incredible. It's very true. Like I also find that in the time where I Healy work on a daily basis, that people really, you know, it's like jaw dropping, huh? Like you're like, how can that system know? I've never told anybody.
Tell me what is like one of your most outstanding, incredible, amazing experiences you had, like where you thought like, wow, this is something we cannot really.
Yeah, I mean, there are many, but regarding Healy, I actually just recently, maybe because that was the last one, because there are many, but this is the one that I remember. And I was about to, move with my wife to a very nice house on the lake here, you know, because we're living on a lake district. So we're just about to move. It was a house for rent, but anyway, it was not far away from the lake, beautiful area. And we were almost about to sign the renting, you know, the tenant contract. However, then I was asking Healy because I thought like, okay, you know, let me just check what is in and maybe something comes up. And I have a Healy version where you can, you know, where you can come up with a few more results like this. However, everything looked good. You know, the house, the place, it is a move in the right direction and live your opulences and stuff like this. But then at the end, two things came up saying like, you can't trust those people. I thought like, yeah, but how, you know, because I was there, I was looking at the place.
Sorry for interrupting. Okay, maybe you say something about what you just said about the version you have from Healy. So that is a bit of a special extended version where you have certain different databases also for decision making. This is not part of the MLM. It will most probably become part of the MLM in the near future. But for now, this is a bit of an extended version where you have just the databases of living and decision making. You can just ask questions and the databases can give you an answer regarding, you know, how to decide in a certain moment. So the quantum sensor is basically doing yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
And exactly. And according to the databases you have, it can come up with this result or that. Usually we have Bach flowers and Schüssler salts. So these are the possible answers. But if you use different databases, a different set of databases used, for house and living, for business, for decision making, then the answers, of course, will be different.
Okay.
So that was one result. So I used that part. And however, then it came out like, you can't trust those people, and there's some hidden flaws. I thought like, hey, but how can that be? However, then I read the renting contract again, and I realized that actually in the contract there was one number. It said like, I can only live there for 5 years, because then the daughter would come back from Berlin from study and might want to have the house back for her to live in. And I didn't read that before. And the second one was, they have kind of hidden a certain cost of 3,000 euros for some heating oil, which would additionally come to the monthly rent, which they didn't tell me. So these two things they didn't tell me. And Healy would just tell, you can't trust those people.
So maybe when you were reading the contract, maybe you picked it up, but not consciously.
Basically, I was, because I was trusting them, because they were really nice,
Okay.
So I wasn't reading all in detail. I was just briefly going through, because kind of the renting contracts in Germany are kind of the same, they just follow a certain order. So you are not reading 20 pages. So, but then I was really going through, and then I would see like, okay, well, there's a point. And I was like, okay, I back off. So I didn't go for it. And just imagine how much trouble I have saved myself and my wife.
Sure.
And how much, and I mean, how much money you move in there, then, you have additional costs, then you have to move out again, the whole world of trouble. And that's saved in a few seconds, just done with an analysis.
And just maybe to explain the German real estate market, usually when you rent something, you do everything in the place. It's not like in Thailand, we move into a place and it's fully furnished already. So it's move in, move out, no problem. But normally you invest a lot of money when you go to a new place. But this is amazing. But this is, Healy, this is maybe for another topic. We go into that the Healy actually has a Porsche engine inside, but you said it's a nice before to me, but it's now an Audi.
Yeah, exactly. We can do this maybe another time when it becomes more, when we come closer to the date of maybe releasing that extended version. But let's stick for now to what is available in a social media.
Let's move into the app, I would say.
Cool.
Okay.
What I have to do is I'll have to connect to another router. So what I want to do is I want to maybe disconnect. We might lose connection for a split of a moment. But
fine, I talk by myself.
So let's see. And maybe you can pause the recording and we just do it. Is it possible?
Then I need to, put those two things together, and I have no idea how to do this.
Okay. 1 second.
I will learn it. Eventually, I will learn it. I also will learn it how to attach a microphone and still be able to hear you.
Okay, then let me do, because you want to do this app, I'll do two things. Bad preparation, but that's good. So this is
okay. It's okay.
We'll do this.
But maybe. I would say what we do today, you can, so I can say something, is we should run an analysis. And maybe for you guys to know, when, in my experience, running an analysis makes sense to figure out what kind of program the client of yours or even yourself needs right now maybe the most, right? So what I like to do is I open the resonance and go into the analysis, and then I will look for all Healy programs, and then I will look for what categories are most resonance, most relevant for me right now. And then based on the assumptions that coming, I go to category to category to category and check what kind of programs will be most resonant with what I need right now. And I think Michael can do that, and he can show us, maybe we go in 2-3 different categories and see what comes up, and we can explain a little bit about why is it coming up and talk about those different programs. And maybe Michael, for also my understanding, so if you can multitask?
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll just I'll do it in the background, but I can multitask because I just need to observe what's going on the mobile phone. Just go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah. Worst case, we have to stop, and I have to learn how to cut the thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Worst case. So for example, Pure. Okay. Pure has, let's say, there is how many different frequencies are in the program pure? Maybe 2,000 different frequencies. Can you say something like that?
In the pure program, like there are hundreds in. Basically, what you have in Healy is you would say, is a pool of potential frequencies. It depends whether it's pure release, energy, relax. There are different, a couple of hundreds, different, sometimes even thousands.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Frequencies where Healy in real time can pick the right ones.
Exactly.
So that is the thing.
So let's say pure has 1,000 different frequencies. Now
that's it.
You run the analysis, and pure comes up with a high percentage, let's say 60, 70%. That means a few out of these 1,000 frequencies, maybe let's say 20 or 30, are super relevant for you because they're super resonant with you right now. So he sees that and picks these frequencies and says, the more frequencies you have, the more resonant you are, the higher the percentage. Is that correct?
Exactly. Like the higher the relevance, the higher this specific frequency is needed, or the higher this specific frequency program is needed. Like if you do in Heal Advisor Analyze app an analysis in, which Healy program do you need right now the most, then you will definitely get this Healy program with the highest relevance. And if you then take this Healy resonance program, you will get the frequencies you will need, regarding that, let's say, being or pure or release. Right. Always the highest relevance shows whatever is needed the most.
And also, so for example, something comes up like meridian allergies. Okay.
Yeah.
Meridian allergies has 1,000 different frequencies, maybe 2,000 different frequencies, let's say. Yeah. Now, I don't have an allergy. Now it comes up with 50%, which is high and relevant for me. It's resonant. Now, how I like to think about it is some human being, probably one person from the castle, named that program Allergy Meridian because it has a lot of frequencies in there that are beneficial for people with allergies. So what are allergies? Allergies can be a skin irritation, stuffy nose, headache, dry or the opposite, eyes, dry throat, cough, something like that. So everything related to allergy. So now I don't have an allergy, but maybe I have somewhere a skin irritation. Maybe I have somewhere in my throat something that some of these frequencies in the Allergy Meridian program are very good for. And that's why the resonance come up. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Like, as we said, is an acausal, response. So somewhere you might have an allergy to something, therefore the allergy program comes out. It's not like that it's not always one-on-one. Just because I have, let's say, I'll give an example. Maybe somebody has a cold, you have a sore throat, you have coughing. So then you would expect that Healy comes up maybe with a program for having a cold, like this cold programs. But actually what comes out might be a program of immune system. So, which is, of course, at the cause level related to your symptoms you are displaying on the outside, on the external. So therefore,
sorry. No, I don't.
Yeah. So therefore, this is so therefore you might have the immune system as a cause, which then comes up, and the cold is just the result of this immune system which is lower. Or maybe a meridian program comes, which is on a cause level related why you externally display symptoms of a cold or a sore throat. So therefore, you can't really say it's like I have this and Healy has to show this certain program. But it's more like I have this and Healy is showing related programs which can actually, not treat, but balance the cause of why this symptom is actually showing.
Absolutely. Oftentimes like comes also intestines, large intestines, small intestines.
Like
because
this.
We have so much immune system in there as well. So what I suggest always, most of the time, because the best results come from it, trust the Healy. Like really, in that moment in time, you do the analysis, you trust the Healy, you have results coming. It's been always.
And to be honest, because you mentioned the word trust, because we also, I don't know myself how, if I put in a picture here and send it to you on WhatsApp, and I actually don't really know how this phone is putting that picture into a digital format and bringing it out in Thailand on your smartphone, but it works. So basically, I cannot know everything, but I can make use of technology so it serves my purpose. So in the same way, even if we are not super technicians and quantum physicists and all of this, we can still use Healy to, support our life and make decisions, like help us making the decisions, support us with frequency programs, or even with information field, what we said, remedies like Bach flowers or Schlüsselsatz.
Or even give us indications, warning signals, maybe something we should get some attention on, right? Things like that. I agree. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's very good. Actually, right now, I was transferring my master key from this with Bluetooth to this one, so it could found.
You already answered a question. I have it here, master key. Okay. So can you transfer? Can you use the Analysis app? I know a few of the answers already, but I need to ask. So
yeah,
can you open the app on a different phone as well?
Exactly. That's what I was just doing, because usually this is my private smartphone, and with this one I would use the app and also my Healy. Now I did for the first time start the Healy analysis or the Healy Advisor Analysis app on this phone, and of course it asks me for the master key, and if you don't have it, that's it. You can't go further. However, so I have to find any master key, put it on this phone, so that this app will be able to find, my settings in the cloud. And I did that. I put this on Bluetooth. I transferred it from this phone to this phone. However, important is if that phone receives then the master key, it will be in the Bluetooth folder. Therefore, I did connect that phone to my PC in order to, to take it from the Bluetooth folder and put it into my download folder, because the Healy Advisor Analyze app will directly go into the download folder, and then I could pick it. You understand?
You lost me at Bluetooth folder. But hey, where do you store normally the master key best? I send it to my email.
Yeah, that's good. Keep the master key in a safe. You can of course keep it on the phone. It's always maybe good if you reinstall the app if something happens. But keep a copy. Keep a copy somewhere, at the email attachment, or put it somewhere on your laptop where you can easily put it again to any other, place.
For example, if I have the master key in my email and I use it from a different phone of my friend, and he has his email installed on the phone, so I sent him an email with my master key. He just opened the email, opened the master key. Yeah, that easy?
Exactly. The master key basically is for you it is your direct link to your cloud settings. All your clients you have in the Healy in the app, all your lists, everything which is being synchronized with the cloud can only be unlocked if you have this master key.
Okay, but can you, if I have my Healy Resonance, so I can just have the app on another phone, and open the application without my master key as well?
Without the master key, not. The master key is required. So, you need any master key, or you create a new account.
Okay.
And a new account gives you a new master key then. But I wouldn't recommend to open many accounts. You have one account. This is usually the one from the back office. And with this account credentials, you sign in, and you can import a master key. If I'm moving from this phone to this phone to this phone to this phone, master key makes it possible. And then at the end, the app looks like this, and you can use it.
And if I, for the first time from a different phone, use the application, now, will it ask me to log in from the Healy Advisor Analysis app? It will ask me to log in, right?
Yes.
Now I can log in with my username, with my email, and my password?
Exactly. You need to know your username and password. Usually that is a problem. People just put it in and then they forget about it. Best is write it on a piece of paper, glue, tack it to your laptop, so you never forget this, because this is very important. Some people forget it, and then, they have 10 support requests. The best is if you create your Healy account at some point when you started, note this nicely down. Whenever it's needed, you can always recall, or you have a good memory and you just know it.
All right, cool. Master key question done.
So yeah, so that's the thing. Basically, I imported the master key, and now all my settings are in. That means I am in as a client. All my lists are in. It has downloaded my whole profile, which is actually only available on this phone, and of course in the cloud.
Okay.
So therefore, now I can, now I can basically use it. Okay. So master key is important, and the master key is the thing. If you lose it, everything is lost. I mean, your user settings are lost, not everything, and we cannot even restore it. So therefore, it is therefore this master key has to be kept on a safe place, like that.
Take care of your master key.
Good. That was the master key. So shall I try to connect to the?
Let's go.
Let me try one more time. Let me see one more time if I can do here. I guess I will have to disconnect now for a second, and I will reconnect to my smartphone as a hotspot. You see, we are doing many things at the same time. So let me see.
All good.
Let me first connect this one. 1 second. Where's the guy? There's the guy. Okay, this I will do. So now I connect this one. I hope that works.
Yeah.
Cool. So that one is in. Perfect. And now, Max, I'm kicking you out, and I'm connecting to my smartphone. Huh? So it will reconnect on soon. Let's see.
Yeah, I kick you out because it's my server. Oh, he's gone. All right. Cool. Now, what we're going to do is I will ask him a few questions because it's interesting to add new clients. Do we need to have a picture taken? Do we need to record a vibration? Obviously, that's obvious. What about the other details? Hey!
I'm back. That's...
Wow, that was quick.
That was the thing. So we are both now connected. Perfect.
All right. So you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I want to share my screen. 1 second. I'll just put in the... what is called the IP address, and I can share the screen. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So do you see the screen now? Huh? You don't see the screen. Let me put that screen. There you go. Do you see the screen?
No.
Now?
No.
Still. Okay, wait a second.
Yeah,
how about now?
Ooh. Okay, perfect. Hey, perfecto.
Is that cool?
That's perfect. That's excellent. Okay.
Very good. So then, see, I'm already in the app. You now see what is going on. Reconnection to Healy. Of course, I was doing something else. This has to be there because it is a medical product.
Thank you.
And now we are back on the track.
Can you switch it to English quickly?
Yeah, I will do. Oh, yeah, it's actually true. Yeah. Okay, I'll do. It reconnects to Healy first, and then good. I'll switch back to English. Deutsch. Oh no, English. Sorry. English. There you go. Cool. So you see, first of all, you have the two analysis, and these are the analysis modes you can use. Is a resonance analysis, aura analysis. Let's start with a simple resonance analysis, just to get the idea of what we were talking about regarding Bach flowers and Schüssler cells and all that.
Perfect.
Taking myself as a client, you see. Oh, 1 second. Oh, hopefully the battery is.
Sometimes.
Is the battery running?
It's happening.
I guess I hope the battery is running. Okay, let me see. The connect.
AD.
Yeah, that is part. It's part of the deal. We are still dealing with the technical equipment here, so therefore, what is it? 1 second. Now we'll make it, because many things are just right now running via my screen and via my phone. I have an internet connection, so the phone has to quite come up with something. Okay, let's start. Let's start one more time. Cool.
Let's do this one more time.
Let's just start one more time.
Let's just do it one more time.
There you go. So now you see it from the very beginning. Connect to Healy. There you go. Okay, cool. I guess we are connected this time. This is how it's supposed to be.
Wait for it.
And let's do the
Resonance.
analysis. We take Michael.
Please.
It's myself.
Good picture.
And as you, yeah, well, yeah, there was a, yeah. So that's also how you put in the clients, you know, you put in the night.
Stop. Sorry. Let's add you as a client one more time. Can we do this?
Yeah, we can do. Basically, if I want to have a new client, I go on clients and I go and click on add new client. And of course, then I can first of all see whether it's an individual. Usually you have persons. So you will basically go by individual.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool for anybody who hasn't done that yet. Go on organization, go on building. You will see there different details like date, like what, you know, it's really cool. And I have known people already to take a nice picture. You have to the upper angle. Upper angle is nicer. When you go higher, it's better. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. See. Okay. One more time. So you basically take a selfie.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. One more time.
So picky. Come on, man.
You
perfect. So
you basically take a selfie, and then you record.
Wait, okay. First question. Is the picture necessary?
Yeah, picture is necessary because you need to, you know, the consciousness connection with the client, which is active, is stronger if you see the client displayed on a picture than without.
I see.
And plus, you also, you know, if you just have a name in, then there could be many Michaels already in this one building. However, with the picture, it is very clear which person, you know, who you mean.
All right.
Who to identify, you know, like the picture is helping Healy to identify the client in the field without.
Helping Healy, or is it helping the client and yourself to feel the intention is stronger because you're seeing yourself and seeing the guy?
It's both. It's on both sides because remember, we need to connect somehow. So we don't have a cable connection. So Healy is addressing the information field, and according to the picture and all the, you know, the name, the birth date, and all the credentials you put in here, this is the clear address Healy knows who to find in the field. It's like your digital fingerprint. This is unique. Nobody else has this name, is born there, has this photograph, and this uniqueness is required so that Healy knows whom to address.
All right.
And plus, it is also, as a second advantage, the more information you have here, the better, and specifically the picture, the better you can connect to the person via the picture. You know, you can connect to your client you're doing an analysis with. Because if you just have a name, then, you know, you don't even know which Michael did I actually mean. But then you see the picture, you know exactly, it's my neighbor. Okay, cool. Let me do the analysis for my neighbor.
Okay.
So it has both.
So now, record vibration, most importantly, right?
Exactly. Record vibration, take the Healy into your right hand. I'm doing that right now.
And normally you focus?
Yeah.
There you go.
Normally I focus. It's a little meditation. You just focus in. It's your personal ID.
Yeah. It's like you're putting your finger.
Exactly. And then you put in your credentials like this. This is standard, and you can, you know, what is maybe important is, you know, then the birth date and so on. However, once this is all in, you click on the little tick up here, and then Healy app is asking you whether you want to restore and put the client into the cloud.
Wait.
I don't want to do this now.
Okay, don't do this. Now, when you go scroll down, you see there's another question asked. Down.
Oh, synchronize. Yeah.
So when
exactly.
You hit, what happens?
Yeah. Well, that's
same thing.
Exactly. Should this client be synchronized? So that means, you know, if you hit that button, that means whatever you do for this client lists and client profile will be synchronized in the cloud.
All right. Okay. So one question I got lately. So male and female obviously is also important.
Male and female, yeah. You know, we that's actually true. I forgot male. See there, I take male. So this is also important. You want to put in whatever you know about the client. If there are some if the client does not want to, give the personal address, you might not want to fill in the address. But for the rest, birthday, name, photograph, vibration in the right hand, this you can all, I mean, this is not so much of a privacy thing, because nobody can trace you back except Healy. So therefore, the address details, yes or no, this is optional. But for the rest, fill it in nicely. The more, the better, because the more information you have, remember, the better the uniqueness, the clear identification.
And would you say you need to change the details ever? Like maybe after a
No.
year, take another vibration, a new
Once you've done, that's it, because it's like your mobile phone number. Once you give that number to somebody, that number will, and you don't change the number, anybody can reach you even after 20 years.
Right.
Because this is like the access code. In the same way for Healy, all these information is just the access code to know whom to address in the field. And this is not going to change in 10 years time.
All righty. Let's do
resonance analysis. The focus is set here. The focus is always the same because it is easy made for people to use. We just have the same focus with what do I have right now, highest resonance.
You want to take your normal account?
Yeah, maybe I take my normal account. That is maybe cool. That is maybe better. And then I have myself in. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
So let me do it again. So I do a resonance. I find my normal account. And then and then the next step is of course you want to go for the databases. And remember, there are certain databases which are a bit more medically oriented, homeopathy oriented, like Bach flower remedies, Materia Medica, Australian bush flowers, Schüssel salts. You also have amino acids, which is as a nutrition counseling. If somebody has a nutrition deficiency, you might use this for additional information.
Actually,
or you can scroll down. You can also let Healy decide which Healy programs to use in the other app.
See, this is the most important thing, I think, because for me, it's meanwhile it's basic, and I love it. It shows really what kind of programs we can use in the Healy. Yeah. But maybe you can dive into the Bach flower remedies for a moment. And because we don't have that with the microcurrency, but we have that in the field regarding you can vibrate something in the field, right? Now, maybe you can say something about how that works.
So I'm actually right now having a Bach flower remedy analysis. I did put my finger on the screen, but that is also meant to help you focusing of what you're doing right now. So the finger on the screen is not really, you can also use your nose. It's not really about the finger. It's more about that you stay focused and not just throwing the smartphone in the corner, continue writing your email and then, oops, oh yeah, there's a result. So it is meant to, steady your focus on the track while you do the analysis. So the Bach flower number 1 actually has highest resonance and relevance, and resonance, yes, because it has 81%. And you see, the next one already goes down to 63%. So there is already the first indication. That huge gap of 22% is already indicating, hey, wait a minute. You can go through the rest, yes, but actually most relevant is actually just the first one.
Okay. So what would you do now? Now, first of all, you're reading that, right? The burden of hiding the worries and problems behind the mask of gaiety is balanced. The ability to confront with fellow human beings and their own problems is strengthened, and thereby the personal development potentially is supported. Essential oil, sandalwood, so on.
Exactly. You see, the results like this are, of course, very personal, and the results are related to, let's say, a certain, that they're related to the current situation of myself right now. So of course there are things which I don't want to disclose in public in a webinar like this. And of course this is why it comes out like this. There are certain worries, because everybody has worries. So do I. So these worries are of course personal issues, which are, which I don't want to disclose here, but it shows that they are here, they are there. There is a relevance for those worries.
Okay.
And these worries can be addressed now using Bach flower number 1 to rebalance myself specifically on the psychological level.
So
Like that.
how would you do this now?
So next step is you click on actions and you would vibrate the list, which now contains 5 Bach flowers. I mean, okay, first of all, you go through the results and you see how and where do you go in resonance with what is being said there. And you also see how and you go in resonance and how, where do you identify, where does that take place in my life? It does not, it can be on many levels, maybe in my professional environment, maybe in my partnership, maybe in my friendship circle, maybe in my wherever, like you have to also create the ability to read between the lines and to understand the vocabulary, the language of Healy is talking to you. So therefore, it is very important to not just, read this on a very, you would say, simple level only, or just literally take it one-on-one, but to contemplate about it. See how and where do you go in resonance with, and see and how you can identify that issue in your own life and also become aware of, because Healy is first of all helping you to become aware of something which is right now, like scheduled to become aware of. So that's the first step. And the next step is you can support that becoming aware of it by using Healy as an amplification tool. So now this whole station here is an amplification to reprogram the information field regarding what comes out in terms of Bach flowers. So all these Bach flowers now will be sent for 1 minute and 20 seconds into the field. And now Healy is being used just as an amplification. First, we did an analysis. We were reading the field, and now we do vice versa. We are actually we are writing the field. We are like, it's like in the internet. You can download and you can upload. So now we are uploading the information, the corrections of what comes out as an analysis, as an imbalance.
So it is sending you the vibrations, the digital vibrations of those 5 Bach flowers into your field in order to give you the same or similar benefits like you eating, consuming the Bach flower remedies, or how would you say that?
Yeah, that's a good point. It is different. It is definitely different than if you take something on the physical level. It is not to be compared, because you would compare apples with pears. Let's say if you take a painkiller, a physically painkiller like an aspirin, everybody knows that. If you pop in a painkiller, within half an hour, you have maybe a pain relief of 4 hours whatsoever. That is a physical, reproducible cause effect chain. However, here we are working on the level of digital homeopathy. We are working on the level of information field programming or information field sending. There you cannot apply the same cause effect chain again. You send an impulse and you leave the system the space and the freedom to decide when and how strong a balance in that area should take place. So it is a well-timed and it is a proportioned balancing method or approach. That means your system, the whole system, not just the system mind, not just the system physical body, but the whole system decides itself when to take this proper, those remedies and how to apply them and when and how much. So this is again, therefore you cannot say in half an hour it will kick in and it will last for 4 hours. But your system can decide how much is needed of that frequency, how much is needed of that information right now, how much do I take in, how much do I go in resonance with, and how much is already being dealt with, and when to stop. It is another approach, and it again helps us to get out of the box thinking of course reaction chain, even in the optimization means in ascending mode.
So it's not going into our physical bodies, it's going into the information field, in our light body, in our, how would you say in what layer of our bodies it's going?
Yeah. It's going into the information field. Basically, it's not going into the body at all. But the information field as such is a holographic field, which is surrounding us and is going through us. It's not a localized aspect. We are not dealing in our localized reality of from here to Thailand, or we are also not dealing in the time relevances of past, present, and future. We are basically going beyond time and space here. That means you can't localize where is the field. The field is everywhere at the same time accessible. I can have access to the field in Thailand as I do have right now, same moment in Germany. Think of it like the internet. You can have access to the internet wherever you are on the globe. Simultaneously, real time, you can download the same information in China as you do in Hong Kong, as you do in Australia, and upload the same. However, you can't see it. However, you can't smell it. You can't touch it, but you can make it visible by certain devices.
It's there. Yeah.
There you go. So that is the same way. We are actually reprogramming the field again. We are reprogramming the information field. And according to that reprogramming, that field is supposed to interact with the physical reality of that client we are dealing with as well. And because of the being intertwined of the information field reality and the physical reality, because there is a connection to those two realities, therefore, we are, of course, aiming to have a physical effect, but when and how strong and where that physical effect takes place, this is again up to the system as a holistic approach to decide.
It will get there. And I think also for like personally, like, look, I'm one of these shallow people who's just like, I was very shallow. And what did thing
you're actually a very deep person, Max.
Yeah.
I have to
now I am.
No to that.
And but I really feel these subtle changes. Meanwhile, like these, what I like to say, it give like the best benefit I get from Healy is really becoming so aware. Becoming aware about these subtle changes, which is somewhere in the information field, but you might not feel on a physical body, but there is some changes, and eventually maybe it reflects in some kind of mood, some kind of being more in tuned, being in, and this thing, you just simply, you can train that.
Exactly.
I think you can get that. You can get on this kind of train right now. And
exactly. Like not to be, not to say we are like more advanced than anybody else, because we really, everybody has to take the humble position in life, also with Healy or Time Wafer. But it really helps to become personally aware of our own blind spots. It helps us to identify blockages we are carrying on since many whatever years or lifetimes, or we want to say, which is in our system,
on the way to become our own master again, our own healer. And to be honest, maybe you don't say like, oh, you're more advanced, but look, this is why I see where Healy is so interesting, because there you have people like Markus Schmiedke, like yourself, right? Like people who are already spiritual on a level where it takes a long time, it takes a lot of meditation, it takes a lot of self-awareness. And then you have Healy giving it into the hand of a person like me. Now I'm using it. Now I'm feeling it. Now I start believing, hey, not everything is flesh and blood, because I feel those subtle changes. And suddenly it leapfrogs me to a level where you guys maybe had to do your meditation in India for like so many years to get to this point, right? But it's really speeding up the process. And this is the beautiful thing about technology. This is the beautiful thing about this technology. So I think it's definitely an advancement. And for normal, I call it normal, for normal people like me, it is a huge leapfrog. It's a quantum leap almost to get there. Much faster.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it really confronts you stronger with your own reality, and the ability for you to readjust and to become aware in these areas are definitely enhanced. And, there is a higher potential. Let's say Healy is not letting you rest in your complacency.
Right.
And also Complacency heißt so viel wie in deiner Gemütlichkeit. You
Yeah.
know, you
The
have to
comfort.
get out of your comfort zone. You have to, to some extent, you realize, hey, I actually do have to work on myself, and it is a process which just starts.
Mm.
And as we emancipate as spiritual beings over the years and maybe even lifetimes, there are always new challenges ahead. It's not that we are like, okay, now I am done, you know, because the more we, let's say, discover our pure potential, also the stronger the challenges become. And
Right.
it won't stop, you know. Even a Markus Schmieke or a Michael Dance or somebody else is at the end of its emancipation. No, there's always a new challenge, and depending on where we are, the challenges are just different. So in that sense, I like us to, you know, to also see or have the vision of equality amongst all of us, because we are one big family.
Absolutely.
And as a family, you know, let's say a father has a son who is a bit older and mature, and the younger son, but he loves all the sons equally. So in that sense, there's an equal network of love amongst all the
I
Healy.
got the interesting question actually yesterday regarding, like, isn't it, like, the question was like, isn't it holding us back to tap in our own highest frequencies? You know, like that we are now only need Healy to get to a place of higher frequency. And
Yeah.
I believe, no, it's actually helping us to get in there. And besides that, it is also protecting us from a lot of things, since we are living in a world exposed to so many toxins. Let it be stress, negativity, electrosmog, alcohol, whatever it is, right? We constantly lowering our frequency. We constantly go to different levels and, you know, suppress our awareness again and again, where I believe is Healy just beautiful to get us
Yeah.
out of there and go to the next level again and again and again. Huh?
Yeah. Let's say on the road of purity, you know, we take whatever we can, whatever tools we can get to get where we want to go. So if Healy is a tool which helps us to become more pure and which protects us and which can balance our emotions and so on, then that's what we take. And then, you know, that's what helps us in that moment. You know, maybe at some point, if somebody is whatever so pure that
Anymore.
he might not even need Healy anymore,
But
you know, by his
honestly,
own.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. If you get there, amazing, amazing. But how
Yeah.
many of us get there? You know,
Yeah.
not right now. But I'm actually, this is a different topic and it goes so deep. But I think I'm so convinced. And regarding the call we have on Thursday about a different thing, this is the way we're going with healing. Now this is just scratching the surface of awareness, using this tool into giving it to the people, and get to a place where we can go way, way, way deeper and higher. Anyway, Marcus, Jesus, I always call you Marcus. Second time already. Hey, let's say, because I feel like we're doing this video already forever and never get to the point. So let's move on with the analysis. My goodness.
Maybe let's exactly. Let's do an aura analysis. Just I mean, you know, this resonance analysis you can do in any database. I guess the idea is the same. You go with the highest relevance and then you pick out whatever is needed. However, if you do an aura photography, then you do your checkup.
You're doing aura now. No, don't do aura. Don't do aura. Let's go analysis. Let's do the analysis quickly.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I think we do the aura in a different way. Honestly.
Yeah, okay.
Because this
let's do the aura again. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, then let's do the Bach flowers. We did already. How about if we do the
gold? The gold is not too private.
The gold, yeah. Oh, you mean
or whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Yeah, that's good. Like, you know, if you don't know which Healy program to use at all, you would scroll down all the way and you go in all Healy programs. So then you do an analysis in the categories, in all the 16, you would say, umbrella categories of all the different Healy programs there are. And you see now the suggestion for me highest is Meridian Programs 2. So of course I can go through all of them again, but you know, I usually pick the highest one, 50%. It's just about okay to take. If you know, it would be too low, let's say if there would be something on 30%, then I even think about using the Healy right now.
My line is around 35%. I feel everything above 35% starts being relevant. Everything below, I'm not really looking at it.
Exactly. So now I do a second analysis. I go in Healy Meridian programs too, in that category, which is to be found Healy Meridian. This is that one. And only now in this, I will do a second analysis because I need two analyses to come to the sub result, which is the Meridian program I would need, which is a lymphatic system. And nerve meridian. It's the same relevance, 45%. So basically I can choose now, or I do one after the other.
What's 44? What's below?
44 is spleen pancreas. Yeah. So as you see, this is a bit on the physical level. Like that also shows something about my current situation or about the person's current situation. You know, maybe I have to go, you know, I'll have to relax because you see the second one is nerve meridian, you know, maybe I'll have to calm down my system, a little meditation as well additionally, or maybe, you know, I have to go in toilet if the whatever, you know, or maybe I have to just do a detox as well. That shows me something. So that is also good to give me a little diagnostic, you know, like maybe not a medical diagnostic, but it gives me an overview, a frame in which I move right now.
Maybe to say a few words also on this point, how I like to do this. Now, when I see lymphatic system, and many times it comes up the same way. What is the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is not our blood system. It's not pumped through our veins by the heart, right? It's actually moving by movement, correct? So
exactly.
Oftentimes when lymphatic system comes up, now usually you don't, I'm saying it to the viewers, usually you don't just do one system and just go for it. Maybe if you want to know more about it, you would go into, let's say, fitness, into bioenergetic. And oftentimes when lymphatic system comes up, then there is something like circulation as well. Then there is something, you know, because it's already related, right? I often see the same thing. And then what I, in the beginning, when I really was not too familiar with the system, I wrote it all down, every category, every percentage, and then I circled it. For example, I see a lymphatic system, I circle it. Circulation, I circle it. You know, mental balance, I circle it. Being, I circle it. So I could see, there are some correlations and connections between those programs. So we say that, oh, maybe you need to, you know, use the circulation and the lymphatic system and get your ass moving, for example, right?
Exactly. So, like, yeah. And also depending on, you know, what is your, maybe some people have a medical background or therapeutic background, so they would just see all the programs and they can already make, you know, they can draw a picture of it. You know, they can see, that person is standing here and there, because then nerve comes out, then this organ comes out, and that and then that they can complete the picture due to their personal experiences on the medical basis.
Right.
That is also there. But for us, because I'm also not a medical practitioner, for us, you know, not being trained, let's say experienced in that regard, we can basically just trust Healy, and, you know, we have experiences, but more on the private level, on the personal level. And we could now, I would choose between the lymphatic system or nerves meridian, would go in the other app, and I would just start the app using the frequency program, put the wrist electrodes, and just let the Healy do the work, basically.
Okay, perfect.
Because it's also, just to say it here, maybe it's a little disclaimer, because whatever I say, whatever we say tonight is related to our own private personal experiences. You know, we are not medical practitioners, so we can't claim any, you know, whatever healing with any programs, but this is just yours and my experience, and whatever we know is limited, of course, and maybe a medical, you know, let's say, a client who has severe troubles in one direction of life should always do this in combination with the medical practitioners. Then that is maybe on the safe side. Healy is meant to give you back your own self-responsibility in terms of prevention in the first place. You know, keep your health balanced, keep yourself strong so that nothing happens in life.
Super.
Good.
Hey, now we could go into another program, or we stop it and talk a little bit to finish all this, because
let's stop and just wrap it up nicely, because next time we will go into the aura. We have already a second part. We just
let's do the aura, but then maybe stop sharing your screen so we go back to face mode.
I'll do stop. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Awesome.
You're back.
Cool. Hey, thank you.
Yeah. So that is cool.
I think, you know, honestly, like it's fun. It becomes so much fun. What I do, what I just talked about with the circling and writing it all down, it starts being like experimenting, figuring things out, trying to understand your body and different things about your body and stuff like that, you know? And then again, you come into this field of awareness. It's really, you become more aware. And meanwhile, when I do the scan on myself, it just makes so much sense for me, right? Because I know what the programs are doing to me. I know what they mean personally to me. I can really explain them to myself. If it's correct or not, I don't know. But for me, it's definitely right.
Right.
And you get to the state after you experience this all, after you try it, right?
And also, you know, you might stick with one program because you really feel that that has a subjective, or that has a personal strong effect on you. So maybe one program has a stronger effect than another program. So you might want to stick with the program you feel like, wow, this really changes my reality. So you don't necessarily have to go through all the different programs all, you know, every day again and again. Find your favorites and use those favorites, because you want to make sure these frequencies, they are really creating a change in my life. So that is also something which is better than to just, because I have them all, let's go through them all
What's
the
your
time.
favorite?
Good. It's a good point. I personally like I really like the gold cycle programs. They're really good because I know them since the very beginning, and I know them since, you know, we've created this Healy and also the predecessor, which is the Time of a Home. And they're very strong on me. And I like I like being, you know, just to get myself emotionally, mentally back into balance. And if there is some pain, I always love this release, you know, you have something, maybe you're sitting all day long, your back hurts, something. Release and being are kind of my favorites.
So the gold frequencies are actually come from Nununina, right?
They come from Nina, yeah. The compilation, how, you know, which frequencies they are being part of that, the pool of frequencies that comes from Nina. We have created this together with him, yeah, of course, a few years back. But that is one of the first. These are the base, the foundation of Healy in a way, because also part of every Healy, you know, gold, holistic health, however. And it is also, in my eyes, subjectively, it has the strongest impact on my well-being.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
That's just,
for me. It's almost daily. I use one of the golds normally daily. According to my lifestyle, I use Pure most of the time. Detox.
Yeah, Pure is also good. Detox.
And my personal favorite is Positive Thoughts.
That's also nice. That's a nice one.
It's like, really, I say it most of the time when I talk. It's like my heart is almost exploding. I feel like I'm lifting myself up for a few hours into a different dimension. I tell you, like, it's so amazing and beautiful. I love that process.
Although you wouldn't need it, because your thoughts are quite positive, I can tell.
Most of the time positive, but I like to be like positive on steroids. So
there you go.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, I think man. Wow. Hey, for all the listeners, sorry, you know, we went into a lot of conversational stuff, but probably something very interesting as well to pick up things from.
It's a podcast. Things happen, you know. We are not preparing, so you shoot and I shoot, so things happen, and we see what comes out at the end. So that's what it is.
It's beautiful. Cool. It's just amazing. Cool.
Max, thank you very much. Yeah, we stay in touch. And you let me know when we have another part, and we'll just hook up again. We see us on Thursday in 2 days anyways.
We do that anyway, and next time we do aura. And then we go deep into the aura.
I'm looking forward. Well, have a wonderful remaining week, Max, and we stay in contact.
We do that, my friend. Thank you so much, Michael Dunst. Thank you for your time, for your amazing expertise, opinions, and knowledge, and everything you have shared in here. And talk to you very soon. And I need a mic.
Take care, my friend.
Take care.